Welcome back to the Bad Influence Podcast, where we challenge the status quo and help you become your best self. Today, we're diving into a profound topic that can transform your life. I'm talking about how the one truth in life that we cannot escape from is that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. We all face challenges and hardships, but how we respond to them determines whether we experience pain or let it grow into suffering. So, are you ready to learn how to navigate life's challenges more effectively and choose your struggles wisely? If so, stick around because this episode could change how you approach adversity forever. Imagine facing life's toughest moments with resilience and grace, reducing your suffering and maximizing your fucking growth. Sounds pretty incredible, right? Sounds amazing, let's be honest. But let's get one thing straight. Pain is a part of life. Whether it's physical pain from an injury or emotional pain from a breakup or even psychological pain from stress, we all experience it. The real issue is that many of us combine pain with suffering. And this misunderstanding can lead to unnecessary and prolonged distress. I've been there. I did that for over 30 years. I just started to manage my pain and my suffering, I will say, within the last 5 years. But you have to understand that pain is the immediate, unavoidable experience of hardship. It's a signal that something needs your fucking attention. Suffering, on the other hand, is the prolonged and often self-inflicted emotional turmoil that you attach to that pain. It's your reaction to the pain, shaped by your thoughts, your beliefs, and your attitudes that make that pain worse. The problem is that when you allow your pain to turn into suffering, it can lead to a victim mentality where you feel helpless and overwhelmed by your own circumstances. So it's crucial to understand that while you can't always control the pain you face, you can control your response to it and minimize your fucking suffering. Yes, you can do that. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I went through a significant health scare. The physical pain was intense. It was so bad. I didn't know what it was. Doctors didn't know what it was. And I felt like my life was spiraling out of control. I started to let the pain dictate my emotions, leading to a deep sense of suffering and despair. The doctors never really figured out what was wrong for years. I was diagnosed with Shulman syndrome, which causes the connective tissue and muscles to swell up in my body for no reason, and there's no cure for it. But before I got the diagnosis, I was so scared. I felt like I was going to die. That's how it felt. Because there were times when I thought I was having a heart attack because of the pressure in my chest when the soft tissue and muscles will swell up. Like it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. And obviously that caused my heart rate to go up and for me to freak out. So I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do, if I was going to die or what. So I was caught in a loop of negative thinking, constantly asking, why me? Why not someone else? Why am I being punished? And I started feeling sorry for myself. My suffering grew out of proportion to the actual pain I was experiencing. It wasn't until I came across the concept that suffering is optional that things began to change. I realized that I had a choice in how I responded to my pain. Instead of wallowing in self pity, I focus on what I could control, my mindset and my actions. That's the only thing I could control, and I can control it. For example, when I felt my body was swelling up, I would take Advil right away or just lie down. I was like, you know what? I need to rest. And by doing this, I realized that the pain will go away after a few hours without taking any Advil when I rested. So I realized that the pain was not going to kill me. So I could decide if I still wanted to enjoy life or complain about my life. I started to practice mindfulness, gratitude, and positive self talk. Slowly, my perspective shifted and my suffering diminished, even though the pain was always and still is there. But this experience taught me a valuable lesson. While pain is a given, suffering is a choice. By changing my response to the pain, I was able to regain a sense of control and resilience. And if I can do it, so can you. So, what's the difference between pain and suffering? Pain is a physical or emotional sensation you experience after a traumatic event. It's a natural part of life and often unavoidable. You cannot escape it. You're gonna hurt your body somehow. You're gonna get hurt no matter what. Life is not full of cushions just designed for you. Suffering, however, is the mental and emotional anguish you attach to that pain. It's an internal process that can exacerbate the initial hurt. You know, when you broke or when you break your arm and then you can do something for a few months and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't play baseball, my life is over. That's suffering because you're not letting your body heal. You're already thinking that you cannot do anything after it heals. You're already wallowing on the pain. But here's the thing. Pain is a short-term, immediate experience. For example, if you touch a hot stove, the pain is instant and serves as a warning to move your fucking hand, right? Suffering, on the other hand, can linger long after the initial pain has subsided. It's like relieving the pain over and over and over and over again in your mind. It's all in your mind. This is one of the things that it's always going to start in your mind. And understanding this distinction is not just enlightening, it's empowering. It gives you the tools to take control of your emotional responses. By recognizing that suffering is optional, you can adopt strategies to minimize it and improve your overall well-being. This knowledge is a powerful weapon in your arsenal against unnecessary distress. Research in psychology supports this idea. Studies show that people who practice mindfulness and cognitive restructuring can actually change negative thought patterns, experience less suffering, and greater resilience. And again, I have done this and I can tell you this is all true because these practices will help you detach from the emotional turmoil and focus on the present moment. Focus on what you can do right now. That's what it does. You might be thinking, okay, but how do I actually stop suffering? The first step is to acknowledge and accept your pain. Denial only prolongs the suffering. By facing your pain head on, you can start to process it and move forward. That's the other thing that happens. You're never going to be able to move on because the pain and the suffering will always be there based on whatever happens to you. but you can move forward. So whenever that pain comes back, even if it's just emotional, physical, or psychological, you already have the tools to move forward. You're gonna see that pain and you're gonna be like, oh, you're back. Okay, well, I'm gonna do this, these are my steps, and then you're gonna go away again. You're gonna go back to slumber, buddy. Next, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This helps you detach from negative emotions and reduces the tendency to dwell on your pain, which we all do a lot as humans. Just because you do this, that doesn't mean you're a bad person or that you deserve it. We all do it as humans at one point in our lives. So, remember, there are techniques to move forward. Another powerful technique is something I call thought restructuring. This involves identifying and challenging negative thought patterns that contribute to your suffering. Replace them with more positive and realistic thoughts. For example, instead of thinking, this is the worst thing ever, try thinking, this is fucking tough, but I can fucking handle it. By the way, I have taught my wife how to do all of this, and it has been a game changer for her as well. So I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. I did this and it worked for me. I have taught my wife how to do this and it has worked for her. But anyway, also cultivate gratitude. That's one thing that people right now don't have or don't want for some reason, because focusing on what you're thankful for can shift your perspective from what's wrong in your life to what's right. This doesn't mean ignoring your pain, but balancing it with positive aspects of your life. Start with small steps. When you're feeling overwhelmed by pain, take a moment to breathe deeply and ground yourself. This simple act can help you calm down and gain a new perspective. Develop a regular mindfulness practice. This could be as simple as spending 5 minutes each day focusing on your breath or using guided meditation. You can always do that. There are plenty of guided meditations on YouTube. There are apps for that. You can find them anywhere. But remember, consistency is key to reaping the benefits of mindfulness. So try it every day and don't give up just because you don't understand it completely. Work on reframing your thoughts. When you catch yourself slipping into negative thinking, pause and challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself if they're truly accurate or if you're catastrophizing. Which, again, we do that a lot. I used to do that a lot. And replace all of those negative thoughts with more balanced and empowering thoughts. Another thing that you might have to do, if you want to, of course, is to seek support from friends, family, or a therapist, because when you do this, it can be a game changer for you. And the reason behind that is because talking about your pain can provide relief and help you gain new insights. Sometimes just knowing that someone else understands can significantly reduce your suffering. It shows you that you're not alone in this journey. And I believe in your ability to transform your relationship with pain. It's not about eliminating pain from your life. It's about learning to navigate it in a way that minimizes suffering. And by choosing how you respond to pain, you can reclaim your power and resilience. You have the strength and the tools to do this. The tools are out there on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You just have to look. Remember, suffering is optional. You have the strength to face life's challenges and come out stronger on the other side. Embrace the mindset that you can handle whatever comes your way and watch how your life changes for the better. Because that's what happened with me. That's what happened with my wife. And I believe that it can happen to you. So, just because you're in pain and you're suffering doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. You just have to understand the difference between the two, and you have to learn how to handle the two. And once you do that, oh boy, there's going to be a new you. There's going to be a new life given to you, and you're going to see things a lot different than before. You're going to learn what your body can take and what it can't take. But when you do, you're going to live life on your own terms. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining me today on the Bad Influence Podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit from it too. Together we can learn to choose our struggles wisely and live a more empowered life. So stay strong, stay mindful, and keep pushing forward. Until next time, have a great day.